Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another OG Racing League Tour Modified Series. Will and I are back up in the booth here at the last great Coliseum here in Bristol, Tennessee. Will, this is going to be an exciting race with 2 races remaining after tonight. What do you think the urgency of some of these drivers who need to gain some points tonight?
In reality, at this point, the battle is not for first in points anymore. It's for getting a higher point spot. So I see whoever's in second place, their urgency is probably going to be pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'd say the urgency of some of those drivers who are in third place, fourth place, maybe even fifth place, their urgency is probably pretty high right now because they want that second place spot.
Well, let's take a look at the points, shall we, Will? In the lead still is Alfie Sharon Jr. with 3 wins on the season. Mike Tashro, a distant second, over 50-plus points behind with 2 wins. Brandon Feeney just got his 3rd win of the season last week at, what was it? It was the Milwaukee Mile, wasn't it?
I believe so.
No, it was Thompson. I knew it was one of those bigger tracks. It was Thompson last week. And then next week we're at Concord. And then, but in 4th place we have James Kerr. I think his championship hopes are all but over with. He's almost 100 points out of it. Same with Dan Butler. So realistically, maybe the top 3 have a good shot at it. But from what I've seen the past few weeks here, Will, Mike Tashro has not had really good runs here.
No, he doesn't seem to do super well at Bristol. At least we've seen him kind of have a few issues here already just during practice. But I mean, right now he's running 14-second times, while Brandon Fetterplace, the current practice leader, is running a 13.946. So I mean, he's there, but at the same time, compared to everything else on this board, he is still about halfway.
In your top 5 fastest lap times here in practice, we have Brandon Fetterplace 13.947. Alfie Sharon now goes top of the charts with a 13.896. And that's Austin Purnell 13.954. Dustin Painter 13.965. And then Brendan Forstyle with a 13.979. So those top 5, top 6, top 7 really are all within the 9/10ths there. And then even the 8th, 9th place, 10th place, honestly, everyone's within 3/10ths of each other. So we have 17 cars in here. We got quite the field here tonight, Will.
We do.
It's Bristol, baby, as Dale Earnhardt Jr. once said.
Bristol always brings out a lot of people.
It brings out a lot of cars and sometimes also brings out the worst of drivers. It's short track racing. These guys don't have much of fenders, as you can clearly tell. These are tour modified, so not a lot of door banging that these guys can do. Alright, but let's see if we can maybe get a interview with someone here. Kind of feeling Brandon Fetterplace. What about you, Will?
I'm down.
There he is. Hey, Brandon, Sean, and Will up in the booth with VRN. You got us?
Typical Wednesday.
It is. I will let him go ahead and keep practicing there. Let's see who.
Assume we just phase out the before race interviews because no one seems to be here.
Oh, don't worry. This next one, we'll get him here. Hey, Brian, Sean, and Will up in the booth with VRN. You got us?
Yeah, gotcha. How's it going, guys?
All right, Brian. Well, we're here at Bristol Motor Speedway. You are currently, where'd you go? 13th fastest on the board here. Everyone's close together, so what are your expectations going into tonight?
A lot of close, tight racing. I look for everybody to be middle to high line. Beyond that, I really don't know. It's going to come down to tire wear, I think. If we get long green flag runs, you'll see the guys who are best at saving tires shine. because guys that have been running hard during practice, it seems like about 10 laps in, they're pushing hard. So we'll see.
So, with it being Bristol, obviously, that top line and a lot of the higher end cars, that top line is where you want to be. But do you think that we're going to see a lot more middle line, maybe even the low line come in?
I don't think we're going to see the low line because we're going to be trying to save our tires. That are not low line, man. You just burn them off. You might see them at the beginning, but they ain't going to be there very long. You might be able to dive down there and make a pass, but I look for the majority of everybody to be middle to high. It's just my guess. That's where I'll be.
All right. Well, Sean, you got anything else?
Not really. Do you think we might see like people throw it down on the bottom, try to slide up towards the end of the race? Or do you think it'll all be up on the top all night?
No. You'll definitely see guys dive down there to make a pass, I think, for sure. Hopefully they don't wash up and take out the whole field, but I'm sure they'll try it.
All right, Brian. Well, good luck tonight. Looks like we might have some good competitive racing here in Bristol.
Hope so. Thanks, guys. Hopefully I'll talk to you at the end.
Hopefully. 17 drivers still here. Well, we might see a third heat race for the first time in, I think, ever.
Yeah, we might.
We can get just 4 more people to join. We might have someone be eliminated from the main event that hasn't really been in the talks since like 13 years ago, but I feel like it's been a while.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at everyone in here in the field. We have Alfie, obviously, Painter, Federplace, Purnell, Forcell, Gauthier, Wesley Whitfield, Tashiro, Butler, Joshua Buckley, James Kerr, TMH, Thomas Melnick Holland, obviously, Ryan Rupert, David Bennett, Matthew Whedon, Brent Allen, and then Brandon Feeney. All right. Well, who's your pick to win the race here tonight at Bristol?
Honestly, I'm gonna put it on Dustin Painter. I think Dustin Painter has a great chance.
I'm going to honestly agree with you. As long as Dustin has some good luck here this week, I think he might be able to get it done here, Will.
I think he can.
Practice is coming to a close here, folks. Excuse me. Tomorrow night, the OG Racing League Cup Series will return, and I believe they are going to be at Martinsville, and that is correct. 125 lap main event there. That's going to be fun to watch, and returning for a brand new fresh season is the Truck Series. Saturday night, the OG Clash at the LA Memorial Coliseum. Be there or don't, I guess. Up to you. They got a pretty good schedule here from what I'm looking at. Got Chicagoland, Gateway, Watkins Glen, Talladega, Lucas Oil, Rockingham. Oh, man. I can't remember the last time I have seen Rockingham on a iRacing League schedule there, Will. That gives
I can't either.
That gives me some ideas. Alright, heat race number 1 here, and I tested out the grid lineup thing during a heat feature for a dirt official session to see if it worked, and I could not get it to work. See, it is still broken. I don't know why or what it's doing or why it does this to me, but yeah. But it's Mike Tashiro and Austin Purnell, your front row, with Joshua Buckley, Alfie Scherer Jr. row 2, row 3, TMH in the 00, Allen in the 18, Dustin Painter, Brendan Forcell, and Matthew Whedon in the 13, starting 9th. That took me, I don't know what's going on here, Will.
What?
What is right? 10 laps. will be the distance as it usually is here for these
What?
tour modifieds during the heat races. I think we actually, for the first time in a while, everyone gridded for the heat race, Will.
Yeah, like it.
So, Painter, starting pretty far back, he's going to have to make up some positions here. And from what we heard from Brian, these guys are probably going to be up towards the top. Although this is the heat race, Will, so I think that might be a little bit different at the start of this one. It's going to be...
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be 2 laps of pacing here, so we're not going to go green quite yet. Unless Brian pulls a quickie on us again, which it doesn't look like he did. We're going to have another 70-lap event here. 70 laps of racing once again. We've seen these races go one of two ways. Either we have a bunch of cautions at the start and they thin out towards the end, or it's just something different. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know.
We could see 17 cars flip. We could see only 1 car flip. The current VRN flip counter record is at 8 still, and we haven't had it up in forever. But here we go. Tasho Purnell.
Green.
Green flag is out at Bristol for heat race number 1. Mike's going to carry the momentum on the bottom, but at turn 2 it's going to be Purnell.
Oh.
Alfie Jr. looking for a bit of a window here. Contact. Around goes Purnell. Up and over. Big wreck. Everyone's involved. Who's going to make it through?
The 13. Oh, nope. Never mind.
I think the entire field is dead. Hey, look. Joshua Buckley is your race leader. No cautions, by the way, during the heat races. So I think we're going to see another Dylan Alderink moment there, Will.
I think you're not wrong.
As it appears, Joshua Buckley has pretty much lapped the entire field. Top 4 are still on the lead lap here. As, ooh, that 00 is looking a little hurt. Half the field is in the pits, including Dustin Painter. I honestly thought the 13 was going to get through that, Will.
I did too.
He was good, and then he wasn't. Let's see if we can maybe get a quick little replay of that. How he got collected in it. He was good. He found a hole, and oh man. Couldn't quite react. So honestly, as long as Josh doesn't make a huge mistake here, he'll be able to hold on for the heat race win here. And I don't know what the invert is, because it's different every week, and sometimes that really does mess up with these faster cars.
Sometimes it does.
Like, I know sometimes we've seen heat race winners start all the way in the rear, or sometimes we've seen them start mid-pack, but I don't think we've ever seen them start first and second.
No.
I think the closest we've seen is like the 3rd or 4th row. As 2 laps to go here at Bristol. Mike Tasher has reeled in about 2 seconds in 3 laps.
And they're wrecking already.
Well, again.
Yep.
White flag down the back stretch for Austin here. Austin will win heat race number 1 here at the infamous Bristol Motor Speedway. Wait, who did I just say won? Was I saying Austin?
I think so, yeah. No, it's Joshua Buckley.
Oh, sorry, everyone. I don't know what was going on there. I just completely brain farted or something.
You're just dumb.
Yeah, honestly, like actually. Anyways, Brandon Feeney, Brian Rupert, Dan Butler, Joe Gauthier, Wesley Whitfield, Brandon Fetterplace, David Bennett, James Kerr. Starting lineup for heat race number 2. I would say the outside lane might be honestly, that might be the lane to be on for the restarts and starts. What do you think, Will? What do you think the preferred lane is?
Personally, if I go off of my experience at Bristol, I'd be trying to run the top lane as quick as I can.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Another 10-lap feature here, folks. Looks like we're waiting on Brandon Feeney and David Bennett. Or not Bennett, sorry. Wesley Whitfield. And everyone's here because the 8 car is rolling. So I'll put Butler up to the pole. And then Bennett will restart 3rd here tonight. I would keep an eye on that black number 3 on the outside lane here. He'll be trying to get the momentum on the outside lane, but Butler, he's going to try to get the start advantage here. James Kerr is going to be restarting 8th with a Federer place on his in front of him. We're going to have, once again, another 10-lap feature here, folks, before the 70-lap main event. Alright, pace car should be pulling off here. Will, I'm really excited for the feature, honestly. I think we're going to see some good racing here in the heat.
I am too.
Guess we'll just have to wait and see. Pace car is going to be pulling off the speedway this time. Brian, Rupert, Dan, Butler going to lead the field to green. Green flag is out. Butler with the advantage. I think he's cleared the 3. Yes, he has. Butler with a fantastic start there. Oh, Bennett's going to drop to the back. Already Butler up to a near half-second lead over Brian, Rupert, Joe Gauthier, and James Kerr here on lap 2.
Seems they're all still trying to run the bottom line. I guess when you're running in a heat race, though, it's not that big of a deal.
As the 67 Gauthier got up into the wall there, he's going to bring it down pit road. Honestly, for some of these drivers, this is basically just a another practice session, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, getting higher positions great and all, but at the same time here, you never know where you're going to start in the heat, or feature, sorry. The gap between the leaders hasn't really changed a whole lot. Actually, Rupert reeled him in a bit there. He has a much better corner exit compared to the 8, Will.
He does.
As James Kerr is under attack from Brandon Fetterplace here for the 3rd spot. Fetterplace in the number 80 Miller modified with 4 laps to go, 3 to go here as the leader. Dan Butler comes out of turn 4, and that's the 3 up in the wall there.
That's not what you want to see.
Not at all, but at least it is just the heat race here, Will. It could have happened during the main feature. And look at all the rubber on the front stretch there, folks. I don't know if you guys could see that, but you can kind of see it on the back stretch too, but there's a lot more on the front. So it looks like a lot more drivers are getting loose out of 4 compared to 3, or compared to 2, sorry. As the white flag is in the air for Butler. He's got a really fast tour modified at number 8 here tonight, Will. He might be a contender for this one tonight.
He might be. He seems very, very fast.
Heat 2 winner, Dan Butler, car number 8. He'll be on the outside of Joshua Buckley here in the main event. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break here on the Virtual Racing Network. We'll be right back once we're getting ready to grid for the main event. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to take a look at tonight's starting lineup on the front row here tonight. Joshua Buckley and Dan Butler. Your heat race winners are actually starting on the front row, Will.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
that's a first. We were just talking about that too.
Then you got Mike Taschereau in third with Brian Rupert in fourth.
In the third row, we have Alston Purnell, last car inside the top 5, with James Kerr in the 75 HBR TV on his outside.
Then you got Brendan Forsyth in seventh with Brandon Fetterplace in eighth.
Rounding out the top 10 here, Thomas Melnick Holland in the number 00 machine, and David Bennett in the number 17.
Then you got Dustin Painter in 11th with Joe Guthier in 12th.
Row number 7, Alfie Sharon Jr. in the 13th position with Brandon Feeney on his outside in car number 38. Well,
Then you got Brent Allen in 15th with Wesley Whitfield in 16th.
Will is now officially fired. He was sleeping on the job. Rounding out the field, though, is Matthew Whedon in the 13th car. 13th car, not 13th car. What? Man, this really is kind of crazy. I love how we were just talking about the leaders never started on the front row until tonight. Alright, Will. 70 laps of racing coming to you. How many cautions think we're going to have? I'm going to go right out the gate and say 7.
I'm going to say too many.
That's a great number. Do you think we're going to have more or less than we had last night?
Probably more. It is Bristol.
I'm going to say less. Pace car is going to be pulling off the speedway this time around. Sorry there. We are going to have, as mentioned, 70 laps, maybe more. We could see this thing going to overtime here. Pace car is off. Green flag is out. We are racing at Bristol.
Good move there to keep it from going 3 wide. You never want to be 3 wide here at Bristol. That's just a death sentence.
32 very weakly out of turn 4. Oh dear, that almost ended the 32 and the 75 cars nights there. Rupert trying to get around the 33. I think we're going to need this wide angle here to see everything that happens. And Bennett into the outside wall in turn number 1. He is down on the apron. I don't know if he'll bring it to pit road or keep it going. It looks like he will keep going here. As battle for the race lead, Dan Butler on the inside of Joshua Buckley. Buckley's the 8. Butler's the 14. Butler's going to fall back there. Rupert's going to take over the 3rd spot, but now they'll be side by side for 4th. Look at car number 28, Brennan Forsyth, trying to get around the 75. 75 to the outside wall. I think we're going to see that a lot here tonight.
I think we 100% are going to see that a lot tonight.
Everyone's running the bottom, Will. Not what we expected here.
I mean, yeah, not at all knowing how Bristol tends to run. Although, of course, I mean, we were told by Brian that he didn't think very many people were going to be running that bottom line either. So, I think we're not the only ones surprised.
In Brian's defense, though, he did say we'll probably see more towards the start, but after that, well, contact there in the back between the 1 and the, well, I don't know who that is, 32? Oh, that's the 18 car there with 32 numbers on it. Austin Purnell on the inside of Dan Butler, trying to take over that 4th spot. A little slide job there, a little wiggle. Here comes Brendan Forsyth, looking for some room to maybe make an attack here.
Tashro down to the bottom.
On the inside here, we haven't seen a pass for the lead yet. Buckley holds on. Buckley seems to do good on these short runs, but towards the end of it, his car definitely seems to fall off from what we've seen so far this season. Forsyth almost to the inside of Dan Butler back there. I think he's got him. Nope, still not. The tie side carries a lot of momentum on corner exit here, Will.
Yeah, it really does look like that.
Alfie Sharon Jr. up to 10th position now. He didn't have a good starting spot. He's one of the faster cars here tonight. We're already nearly 20 laps into the race, and he's still just outside, or just inside the top 10 here. Purnell and Butler still side by side. How long do you think this battle is going to go on for before either one of them forfeits or tires just come into effect?
I give it about 10 laps. That would be my thought process.
Oh man, that 32, it's definitely looked like he's starting to plow on exit big time here. Oh man, they're just so consistently even or equal that no one gets an advantage.
Yeah.
And then there's poor Brennan there who just can't make a move, who is more than likely, I think that 28 is definitely faster than the 2 cars ahead of him. But there's just nothing he can do until either they forfeit or the tires just become that much of a problem. Tashro going to try to make another move on Buckley here. Tashro hasn't had some good races here recently, but he's running inside second and looking for the race lead here on lap 18 at Bristol.
I feel like you can see the leader there. He's getting a run on that top line. Or that middle line, sorry.
I think...
Not through that last turn, but he definitely did in turn 3 and 4. And we'll see if he does the same thing again. Goes down, kind of gives a little bit of a block on Tashro, but that might not be enough.
I think we're going to see another stalemate sort of situation here that the 14 and 32 are in as I speak here. And it looks like that battle has actually withered away. Now it's the 28 and the 14 side by side here at turn number 2. Alfie is still in 9th still in 10th in a battle for 9th here. Trying to take it from car number 80. Brandon Fetterplace just not able to. Meanwhile, the battle for the race lead has allowed Brian Rupert to catch up and Austin Purnell. Purnell is now less than half a second away. Tashro with momentum on the bottom. Oh, Buckley's starting to fade away here, Will. It's a 4 dog.
And they're wrecking in the back, maybe?
Oh, it's Dustin Painter in the 65. Up against the inside wall.
Nothing yet.
No caution, though.
Oh, what the?
Oh.
Caution's
Now there's
out.
a caution.
That seemed somewhat intentional, if I'm being honest.
That also looked like netcode to a point there.
Maybe, I don't know. He kind of shot up the track there.
Yeah, they never made any contact there. There's quite the bubble there. As you can see, they never touch, and right here, here-ish, is when the sparks come. See, there's still no contact registered. And then he goes around there. And at that point, he's just along for the ride, Will. So honestly, I would not put that on Dustin Painter. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and maybe try to dial someone up here. How about Mike Tashero? Sound good, Will?
Sure.
Hey, Mike, Sean and Will up in the booth with VRN. You got me?
I got you.
Alright, Mike, well, you haven't had the best of luck here the past 2 weeks, but now you're out here leading with just about half of the race left. What are you going to try to do to hold on to it and maybe get yourself your 3rd win of the year?
I'm just gonna stay up front and hold everybody off. Just worried about trying to save the tires, but in that last run, I wasn't holding back really, so I'm using it up pretty quick. So hopefully, I can just chill out a little bit and stay in the front.
Do you think you definitely have what it takes to get the win here and just hold everybody off from now until the checkered flag?
It depends. We'll see if Alfie gets up here, but yeah, I think I got it. I think I could do it.
All right. Well, Sean, you got anything else?
No, not really, Mike. But hopefully you have another good run for that number 33 machine and gain some points on Alfie here. Good luck to you throughout the last half of the race, and hopefully we talk to you post-race, Mike.
All right, sounds good. I hope to be there talking to you.
Well, just half of the race left we've seen. Only 1 caution so far. Pretty clean racing and some pretty good racing too, especially up front for the lead.
Yeah.
Now I will say here, as Mike had mentioned, tires are going to be, he said he wasn't really holding back there. Top 5 stayed out, but everyone else, Alfie, Sharon Jr. on back, did pit. And I'm going to assume that they took tires there, Will.
I think that's the only thing to assume.
We could also assume that they were going to get some ice cream or maybe a freshly cooked steak cooked on the Michigan International Speedway.
Yeah, I don't think that's what they were doing.
Yes, I'm still going on about last night. Will fight me. We have had 2, maybe 3 different leaders here tonight. But that number is probably going to go up to 4, 5, maybe even 6 by the time the night is over. Tasher's going to lead the field to green. He'll be able to more than likely get the jump on Brian Rupert here in car number 3. Rupert on the outside, Tasher on the inside, Purnell and Butler row 2, and then Joshua Buckley rounding out your top 5, not top 6. Green flag is off, or green flag is out. I said like 5 different words there. Already Purnell trying to get up around the 3. Purnell super loose out of turn 2, Will. Joshua Buckley trying to hold on to a top 5. Damn. Oh, man. It is a hornet's nest back here.
Gonna get rough here in a few.
Alfie Sharon Jr. on fresh tires, presumably looking for a gap. He has room on the inside to try to get around his teammate of Dan Butler for 4th.
Frankly, I don't think he's trying. Never mind, he is trying to get around him. I thought he was just gonna stick behind him for a bit, but caution's out. Ooh, big wreck. Entry of 3.
Oh, is that the 00 up and over?
I think the 13 is in it.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one, Will. Let's see what happened there. Looks like the 00 just hooked the 65. and then proceeded to ride him for a moment there. I don't really know how else to word that there. Oh man, I mean, it really does look like maybe the 65 kind of came. It looks like they're both kind of going for the same area on the track at the same time. We're gonna slow it down a bit here and try to get a better look at it. You can see those are coming down, 65 going up. Yeah, both drivers going for the same spot on the track. Then everyone else behind just had no time to react. So Purnell is going to have the race lead here. Tashro did end up pitting, along with David Bennett and pretty much everyone else who was involved in the incident there. So Fresh Tires leader is Alfie here, Will. Restarting third.
Yeah, he got up there pretty quick.
I definitely think that those Fresh Tires really are going to help that number one car. At least from what we've seen.
I think you're right. I mean, fresh tires seem to help a lot.
Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and take a break here while we wait for these drivers to get ready to go back green. We'll be right back. Alright, welcome back, folks. We're getting ready for the restart. Purnell, Rupert, Shared, Kerr, Forsall, your top five. Tashiro, and was pretty much the only front runner who pitted there. Pace cars off. And green flag is back out. We are racing again at Bristol. Good restart for the 32. And look who's behind him, Will.
I don't like this already.
James Kerr, Brian Rupert battling for third there. Meanwhile, Alfie Sharon Jr., fresh tires, trying to get to the back of the 32. I definitely think fresh tires were probably the way to go. In all honesty,
100%. I mean, Alfie is there on him already.
I think he'll probably soon be able to make a move within the next 2 to 5 laps.
I think seeing how Austin is on this bottom line, I think he really wants to protect that bottom line.
Oh,
and the wrecking.
Problems in the back.
Austin's going to have the lead. Austin is going to have the lead on the restart.
If I was Austin, I would pit. There's no way Austin will be able to hold off Alfie on these old tires. There's no way. It's not possible.
Unless we just get repeat cautions.
That's a possibility, Will, but at the same time, I don't see it coming.
Well, I do.
Well, that's why you are you and I am me.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Dear, oh dear. How many cautions have we had tonight? This is caution number 3, correct?
I think it's 3, yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. I've seen 3,000 before. Imagine a 24-hour race here at Bristol, Will. Unlimited
That
fast repairs, no cautions, no full course yellows.
that would be a failure.
Oh, you don't know that.
I do. I do.
I think that would be pretty fun. That idea has been thrown around so many times by multiple people, honestly, but never seems that no one has done it. So, yeah, I'm not gonna do it either. Anyways,
Yeah, you don't say.
we're coming close to the 20 to go mark here. 25 at the line. So far, it looks like we have 9 cars on the lead lap here. Well, time and time again, we've seen drivers stay out on these old tires, just fall like a rock. So I feel like that's what's going to happen here to pretty much everyone else who didn't pit. And really, Alfie has like no competition right now. Right, Will?
Pretty much.
And I'm hearing word from David Bent that his power just went out mid-race. So that's what happened to car number
Ouch.
17. Yeah, that ain't good. He said big storms rolling through. Hopefully you're okay, David. Stay safe. As the pace car dives down pit road, Purnell sharing your front row. Green flag is back out. 25 remaining here at Bristol.
Purnell with a pretty good run here.
Joe did not get going there in 67.
Whoa. Alfie down onto the apron for that one.
Hey, racetrack is racetrack.
But Purnell's got the run out of that top line there. He's gonna push Alfie down as far as he can push him.
That's definitely a strategy. You gotta pin your competition. In a sense, you know?
He's not giving any room, but Alfie's giving it back on the straights.
Alfie led that previous lap, and he's gonna clear the 32 barely.
Gets on the corner.
I don't think he was quite clear there.
No, I think he thought he was, but he wasn't.
It was very close. You can't really put that on him. Coming around to 20 laps remaining here. Austin gonna try anything he can here, but I don't think he can really do much of anything. There is a 25 lap difference on their tires here.
Yep.
As really the front six actually, all nose to tail here, down the front stretch into turn 1. A lot of shuffling going on towards the back of the pack here. Your race leaders at the start of this thing struggling in the back of lap traffic here. Dan Butler 9th right now, Buckley in 11th. Then Tashira, who has not the freshest tires anymore, but he did at one point. He's back in 7th. Will, what are your thoughts so far here? Coming up to 15 to go.
I feel like here soon they're going to start wrecking. I think I can see it. Someone's going to make the wrong move, and it's just going to become a wreck. But, I mean, like we've been saying, there's pretty much, it doesn't seem like there's much of a way for Austin to catch back up to Alfie because of tires, but
He's
Alfie's tires
close.
are going to fall off.
Yeah, they'll
Here
probably
soon.
become even eventually, maybe.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Austin's staying pretty close here, so honestly,
He's kind of catching him a tiny bit.
I want to
Little
say
by little.
Austin was faster that previous lap here. Not quite this lap, but he was fast, about half a hundredth there previously. And honestly, Will, I do want to mention this one thing. Tashiro here Oh, contact with the 30,
Ooh,
the
car
18
slow.
and 28 there. They're 3
Car
wide.
goes
There
slow,
they
and
go.
they're dead.
No
Caution's out.
caution's out. I was about to say no caution because I thought everyone had saved it. Looks like everyone actually did keep it straight. Maybe not. It looks like Dan Butler did not there. Oh, I clicked instant replay one too many times here. Actually, we'll get a good look at what happened here. At 3 wide, and James Kerr got into the back of the gate there just barely. He hit pretty much every single cone he could there. Props to him. Alright, I doubt anyone's going to pit now with only less than 10 laps to go, basically. Once we get back green. Well, it's going to be a handful of laps left in the race. It's going to be a bit of a shootout here. And I honestly think Alfie's probably going to have this one in the bag.
I think so as well. I think there's the only chance that Austin's really going to have to get him is towards the end.
And even then,
Just keep up with him.
like we mentioned before, there's about a 20 plus lap. What is going on here? Okay, I was about to say.
No.
Did anyone end up coming down pit road? Doesn't look like it. Looks like everyone did end up staying out here. Well, 9 to go. We'll be right back once we're getting ready to go back green in just a few moments. Alright, it is going to be a 6-lap shootout. Gloves are off here, folks. Purnell, Alfie, your front row. Brian, Rupert, Brandon, Feder Place. Row number 2. Pace car is off into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out. Alfie with the jump. Feder Place on the outside of Austin.
Wow, what a jump.
I think the battle is going to be here for second. Austin,
Whoa!
slide job. He cleared. Barely over the
Austin
80.
not giving any room.
He's trying to hold on to a second place finish here. 5 laps to go. Here at Bristol Motor Speedway here. Rupert loose in the back. Trying to hold on to a top 5 machine here. As he's going to get probably freight trained on around the top lane. Brennan forced out contact they make.
Ooh.
They keep it green though. No caution yet. Alfie Sharon Jr. here. Looking for win number 4 of the season. 3 laps to go. As long as he can keep it clean, he probably has it here, folks. Tashiro up to 4th since he last pitted. Ryan Rupert still holding on to a top 5 still. Good night for him in the number 3. Coming to the white flag this time into turn number 3 goes car number 1. White flag is out, one more lap to go. And if he wins this race, I'm pretty sure he all but has the championship locked up. After tonight, 2 races left. Win number 4 for Alfie Sharon Jr. at Bristol.
Wow.
And the field goes ka-chow in the back. Death. And it looks like no burnout for the number 1 car. He just brings it down pit road. Oh, there it is. Feature winner here tonight, Alfie Sharon Jr., driver of the number 1 modified. Alright, let's go ahead and give everyone some time to get into the waiting room, Will. What were your thoughts on that race here tonight?
Pretty exciting. Pretty exciting.
Honestly, I agree with you, Will, and honestly, that's going to go pretty high up on my favorite races of the season, honestly. Probably even close to number 1, really. I was pretty good. Pretty good race there. We got Brandon and Alfie here. We'll go ahead and talk with your race winner here. Hey, Alfie, Sean and Will up in the booth with VRN. You got us?
I got you guys. What's up?
Well, tonight marks your 4th victory of the year, well, of the season, and this is big points day for you once again. You all but have the championship locked up with just 2 races left. How does it feel?
It's been a fun points year. We'll see what happens in the last 2 races. I mean, anything's possible. We're going to Concord and then New Hampshire, so Concord's a small track and New Hampshire's 1.5 miles, so we'll see what happens.
Now, you started towards the back for this race, but then you went and got tires around, I think it was like the first or second caution. Do you think those tires really got you that extra edge you needed to get up there to the lead and hold on to that lead? Like, you started just getting away from everybody. No one could catch you.
Oh, 100%. Tires were definitely key here. After about 20 laps, your tires were gone, so um, to make them hold on for that long after I think I pitted like the 3rd caution. To make them last about 50 more laps was pretty impressive. Um, I was a little scarce on fuel, but didn't know that till the end. So I kept shutting the car off on the last caution we just had, and luckily saved just enough to be able to go for the win and also do at least a burnout.
All right. Well, Sean, you got anything else?
Not really. Congratulations on the win here, Alfie, and good luck next week at Concord.
Thanks. Just got to thank my sponsors, TRS, 877 Can Race. Look us up, theracingschool.net, and then Checkered Flag Auto Supply. They're a little mom and pop shop out here where we live in Connecticut and Massachusetts. Just got to thank Mike for letting me run the 1 car. We're not officially teammates, but just got to thank Dan and Mike for being my teammates with the TRS cars.
All right. Well, have a good rest of your week, and once again, good luck.
Thank you, too.
All right. Well, let's get the runner-up finisher up in the booth, Austin Purnell in the 32. Hey, Austin, Sean up in the booth with VRN. You got us? Oh, okay. We'll go ahead and get Brandon Fetterplace up in here then, quick. Hey, Brandon, Sean, and Will up in the boot with VRN. You got us this time?
Hey, I do now. How's it going?
Going good, man. You came home third after starting eighth in the feature. How'd your race go overall? It seems like it was a pretty quiet but pretty solid night for you.
Yeah, I was just trying to finish well. I mean, have a decent points day. It was, it was a little sketchy out there at times, as you could see. So, just try not to cause the big one, like that was in the first heat race. So,
Now you like Sean said, you had a pretty good day today. What do you feel like you needed more of to get you that win?
um, honestly, I needed to capitalize whenever I seen people, kind of getting out of the groove. I kind of was trying to save tires after the pit stop, because I wasn't sure how bad the fall off was going to be. And I probably should have just ran, just kind of hot lapped it a little bit and tried to get that track position for later.
All right, well, Sean, you got anything else?
Not really, but after tonight, you move to eighth in the standings, and you're not too. Okay, never mind. You are a little far off of the top five. I looked at that wrong. But you're solid top 10 points here. You might be able to get seventh here from Buckley. But do you have anything planned for next season? Maybe go out, try to get the championship?
To be honest with you, man, that one car, he's bad fast. Trying to stay with him. Probably if I wouldn't have missed the first, I think 4 or 5 races of the season, I might, obviously I'd be closer, but I don't know. I got to get better at these things. These cars are kind of hard to drive at most tracks, and just you know, it's pretty much you got to try really hard.
All right. Was there any shout outs or thanks you'd like to give out to anyone here tonight?
Just shout out to all the people watching the broadcast. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for doing what you do, and glad to have Miller on the car and on the next week.
All right. Well, have a good rest of your week, Brandon. We'll see you tomorrow night at Martinsville, maybe.
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
All right. Sounds fun. All right. Let's get your runner finisher now, Austin Purnell. Hey, Austin, Will, and Sean up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, you got me.
Yep, we got you loud and clear, man. All right, came home second here tonight. You led for a good portion of the night. I mean, what do you think, or did you ever consider taking tires during one of those cautions?
I thought about it. I kind of wish I would have when after that first caution when I seen it won't but like four of us stay out. But I was scared to lose all the track position after that, so I knew I'd pretty much already made my bid and just had to stay out there. And towards the end, I think they actually started evening out, but Alfred just still had a little bit more of an edge on me.
Now, like you said with the tires, um, obviously with Alfie being on those new tires, that limited how you could get up there. But do you think back now and say that maybe you should have pit four tires? And do you think you would have had the win if you pit for tires?
I definitely think if we would have picked retires under that first caution, we'd at least been no worse than we already did. I think, with with everything under my control, anyways. But I don't know. It's just hard to lose track position in these races. You never know what's going to happen. So if I could go back, I can't say if I would or wouldn't. Honestly, it's about a 50-50 chance.
All right. Well, Sean, you got anything else?
Not really. Next week we're heading to Concord, which is just basically a shrunken down Pocono. What are your thoughts on that track, and do you think you'll have another good run there?
Yeah, I definitely hope so. I don't think I've ever ran a tour mod at that track, so it'll be interesting. But we're gonna give it our best shot. I really did. Bristol ain't really one of my strong suit tracks, so I like the shorter tracks better. So maybe it'll play in my wheelhouse.
All right. Well, is there any shout outs or thanks you'd like to give out to anyone here tonight?
Yeah, just to the league itself for putting on, and y'all coming out to broadcast. It means a lot. Everybody can watch at home and get ready for next week.
All right, man. We'll have a good rest of your week, and we hope to see you next week at Concord.
All right, thank you, y'all too.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning into tonight's broadcast. If you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe. Really helps us out, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night at Martinsville.